Welcome to my channel, Iraqi Dinar Hub, your trusted source for breaking updates on IQD, VND, and ZIM developments. A seismic shift is currently underway in the Middle East, one that could profoundly alter Iraq's financial path and trigger ripple effects across the global currency market. In a moment, long whispered about but never officially documented, until now the Iraqi Gazette, the nation's legal cornerstone, has released what could become a historic pillar of Iraqi economic policy, a fully articulated protocol for the revaluation and exchange of the Iraqi dinar, ICD. This publication finally cuts through years of speculation and rumor, revealing a step-by-step state-sanctioned plan. For those who've waited patiently and often skeptically, this signals the transition from hopeful chatter to legal and actionable reality. For over a decade, IQD holders and those tracking similar currencies like the Vietnamese dong, VND, and Zimbabwean dollar ZWL have speculated about the day this would finally go mainstream. That day is now here. The document published in the Iraqi Gazette is not merely technical, it is foundational. It delivers a government-verified currency roadmap, one that sets the stage for the dinar to reclaim its former global position and possibly outperform expectations. This isn't just economic reform, it's a signal of sovereign maturity. However, with such major opportunity comes responsibility. The real question is, are you truly prepared to navigate this system and take part in what many are calling the greatest financial event in modern Middle Eastern history? The July 2025 Iraqi Gazette release has ignited both urgency and excitement among currency watchers and investors worldwide. For the first time in over 20 years, the Iraqi government has published a formal decree detailing the exchange process for the IQD. This is not a policy teaser, it's a full operational framework. The language used, such as the removal of dual rate inconsistencies, suggests a shift toward a single harmonized rate across both domestic and international markets. It also references priority redemption access for verified holders, which may benefit those who acquired their dinar through approved channels. Additionally, the decree emphasizes monetary independence for the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, affirming Iraq's full authority to manage its own currency valuation free from foreign leverage or manipulation. Critically, the Gazette outlines a phased, tier-based redemption approach. Iraqi citizens will be processed first, followed by expatriates, and finally international holders, each group assigned to designated exchange windows. The framework includes biometric verification to combat fraud and ensure clarity. Another key piece is the plan to phase out old 30 series notes under a fixed-value government program. What this decree does is transition the dinar from a speculative asset to an officially managed financial instrument. For US-based holders who've stored IQD since its reissue after 2003, this is historic. The Gazette's clarity marks the most explicit proof yet that Iraq is poised to re-enter the global monetary arena as a legitimate, valued player. This is more than symbolic validation, it's actionable confirmation. Analysts from financial centers in Washington, D.C., New York, and Los Angeles agree that the Gazette's release signals a real exchange event is underway. Moreover, banks operating in U.S. jurisdictions are expected to be greenlit soon to begin processing IQD in coordination with the U.S. Treasury and the CBI. Institutions like Chase, HSBC, and Wells Fargo are rumored to be preparing to serve as authorized exchange points. Tier 4B participants, non-institutional but pre-verified currency holders, may receive contract rate offers higher than the public rate, contingent on appointment scheduling within a 72-hour exclusive window. Now is the time to organize receipts, scan serial numbers, and update Know Your Customer KIC documentation. Tax implications are another major consideration. Once the exchange is executed, U.S. participants will likely be obligated to report their currency redemption under FATCA Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act guidelines. Non-compliance could delay access to funds or incur penalties. Engaging with tax professionals ahead of time is not optional, it's strategic. Acting now ensures you're ahead of the curve, rather than scrambling during critical exchange days. Historically, the Iraqi dinar was viewed as illiquid and speculative, avoided by forex desks and institutional traders. But that perception started changing in 2024. With oil-fueled bilateral trade deals, performance from the Iraqi Stock Exchange ISX, and reserve restructuring, signs pointed to the CBI preparing for international reintegration. The July 2025 Gazette publication confirms this shift in unmistakable terms. Across Europe, Asia, and the Gulf, Forex traders have reported moments of controlled rate testing in closed networks, where the dinar temporarily reflected values between 391 and CBI 768. These weren't forum rumors some Tier 1 banks have internally loaded potential rates into their systems, waiting for an activation directive. Iraq has also settled long-standing debts with the Paris Club, restoring financial credibility. With over 130 tons of gold now backing this revaluation, Iraq adds a rare layer of asset backing to its currency. The IQD is no longer a speculative gamble. It's emerging as a gold and oil-supported digital financial instrument with global trade potential. Vietnam, while often overlooked among Asian markets, may soon follow Iraq's lead. The State Bank of Vietnam SBV has made key moves similar to Iraq's pre-revaluation activity, increasing gold reserves, testing digital currency platforms, and executing bilateral trade agreements directly in dong. These trades are increasingly conducted with BRICS plus nations such as Russia, China, and Brazil. A recent IMF review classified the dong as significantly undervalued, citing Vietnam's trade surplus, increasing foreign direct investment (FDI), and financial stability. Analysts believe the dong is overdue for a correction. Large U.S. banks, including Citibank and HSBC, have reportedly begun internal vetting and training for handling VND notes, usually a strong signal that regulatory approval may be near. Some projections suggest the dong could revalue to anywhere between $0.48 and $1.25, depending on gold ratios and adjusted export metrics. Should Iraq's exchange protocol unfold successfully, experts believe Vietnam's window could open within 60 to 90 days. For American VND holders, this isn't just Iraq's moment, it could be their own preparation trigger. Vietnam may be watching and waiting to launch its own framework, using Iraq's as a real-time benchmark. Proactive documentation and planning now, rather than later, could make all the difference in accessing favorable rates when that time comes. The Iraqi model is not just a guide, it's now a catalyst that others may soon emulate. Of the three, the Zimbabwean dollar ZWL remains the most unpredictable, but also the most potentially lucrative. Following a hyperinflationary collapse, Zimbabwe has begun repairing its fiscal image through the rollout of the ZiG, Zimbabwe Gold. This new currency, issued both physically and digitally, is claimed to be backed by actual gold reserves. Zimbabwe's strategy is to escape IMF junk status and join Africa's emerging monetary networks. Early signs are promising. Zimbabwe's finance ministry has confirmed that holders of older 100T ZIM notes may qualify for redemption under asset-backed clauses possibly supported by African Union treaties. This could apply to US holders, especially those who can prove acquisition through legitimate means. American law firms with experience in cross-border finance are now exploring how these potential ZIM redemptions intersect with African monetary regulations. Early projections suggest redemption tiers ranging between $0, $0.3 and $0.11 per 100T note, depending on eligibility and bond-style classification. If IQD and VND activate successfully, momentum may favor Zimbabwe next. However, success will depend on geopolitical alignment, investor confidence, and whether the African Monetary Union proceeds with full digital integration. Investors in ZWL are urged to review legal positioning and compliance strategies now. Redemption, if offered, could be swift, and for the unprepared, could be lost just as quickly. With the Iraqi Gazette now live and global experts responding, one thing is clear: this is not speculative noise. Michael Danar, a former US Treasury official who advised on post-conflict currency restructuring, told Currency Speculation Life, when a sovereign nation releases a step-by-step exchange protocol in its gazette, it signals a shift from rumor to law. Banks will respond accordingly. This sentiment is echoed by Dr. Nihala Al-Zubeidi, Baghdad-based economist and Ministry of Finance advisor, who believes the decree ends Iraq's dual rate system and mandates a singular global exchange rate. This forces transparency and, thus invites institutional participation. Meanwhile, Henry Wu, a digital banking compliance expert with ties to financial hubs in Hong Kong and New York, cautioned that final UWS Treasury compliance checks are still required before full activation. The legal stage is set, he says, but Treasury sign-off will determine rollout speed in the US. These voices combine to affirm that Iraq's dinar is no longer just a speculative idea. It's a functioning instrument of sovereign economic policy. With every box ticked from legal to logistic, healthy revaluation roadmap is operational. The moment for passive watching is over. For IQD holders, preparedness is now the only viable strategy moving forward. Internal documents and confirmed contacts near the CBI have released what appears to be a fully structured rollout timeline for IQD redemption. Tier 4B will play a central role, composed of retail investors and verified holders. According to these sources, events begin on July 22nd, with Tier 1 banks like Chase and Bank of America finalizing back-end system readiness. This update includes dinar note validation systems, rate calculations, and compliance protocols. From July 26-28, non-public fork servers begin uploading real-time rate markers, enabling banks to quote live rates only for scheduled appointments. The exchange officially begins on July the 29th when Tier 4B notifications are issued, and appointment scheduling opens. Between August 1st and August 15th, global redemption centers will activate in staggered regional waves. Biometric screening, rate option selection, and final KYC procedures will occur at that time. On August 15th, the IMF is set to audit the process for global integration certification. This schedule is strategic, not optional. Missing a window could relegate you to a lower tier or eliminate access to contract rates entirely. Preparedness will determine financial outcome. Simply holding currency will no longer be enough. You must understand and act on the process. It's no longer speculation. Its implementation and timing is everything. First steps: gather every piece of documentation you can. Receipts from authorized dealers, scanned serial numbers, and even notarized affidavits of ownership if applicable. Secure digital and physical storage is critical. Next, prepare to pass stringent KYC and AML requirements. Government-issued ID, proof of address, social security number, and bank account verification are all likely to be required. Redemption portals will only be official bank platforms or hotlines, not third-party apps or unofficial websites. Contract rates are not guaranteed. They often require NDAs or compliance with special holding periods. Know the difference between BAS and premium rates before signing anything. Lastly, engage financial and legal professionals. Depending on tax bracket and structure, post-exchange capital gains may be significant. Explore options like trusts, charitable giving, or gifting strategies to reduce your liability. The most successful investors aren't just note holders, they're strategists. They understand both opportunity and responsibility. The road to redemption has opened, but whether you walk it confidently or not will come down to planning. Do not delay. The surge in Iraqi dinar search interest this July is historic. With the Gazette's release and parallel developments in Vietnam and Zimbabwe, platforms like Google, YouTube, and Bing have seen a massive spike in queries. Top searches now include Iraqi Dinar Exchange Protocol 2025, SID, CBI Tier 4B Schedule, and approved EWS banks for IQD redemption. These aren't idle curiosities, these are urgent, action-driven questions. Others are asking about Vietnam DOM 2025 valuation window and ZIM note eligibility for redemption in the US. The age of theory is over. The demand is for clarity, tools, and step-by-step guidance for content creators and publishers. This creates a huge SEO opportunity. Incorporating high-value search terms like IQD Gazette, July 2025, Tier 4B desk booking CBI verified exchange rates, and ZWL. Redemption bonds can dramatically boost visibility across platforms. YouTube videos explaining appointment booking, security protocols, or tax planning are rising fast in views. Long-form content with downloadable checklists, banking links, and IMF documents are seeing higher attention. Speak to what people are searching, for not what you think they should want. Relevance is now currency. SEO is now strategy. Visibility is now essential. This isn't just financial, it's historical. Iraq's Gazette publication has changed the game. The IQD is no longer rumor, it's recognized monetary policy. It's legally codified. Tiered redemption, rate protocols, INF benchmarks, it's all laid out. For VND and ZWL holders, this is also your signal. Iraq has opened the first door on, the next ones may swing open fast. You must now go from wishful to prepared. Get legal counsel, prepare KYC, confirm bank portal, learn your tax options. This is not the time to be uninformed or slow to act. Tier 4B notifications are about to be issued. Don't get left behind.